The World Championship has kicked off, yet Riot does not cease to come up with brilliant ideas to keep us amused. This is the 20th patch of the year, let's get right into it. As usual, starting off with champions of minor changes, Lee Sin's base AD has increased by 3, Pantheon's W damage, Riven's Q skill damage, and Tryndamere's base AS and growth armor are all receiving buffs. The passive effect on Mundo's E skill has been nerfed. Mordekaiser's single target damage on his Q skill gets nerfed. Singed growth armor has been reduced, and Veigar's WAP ratio will be nerfed as well. Aphelios is getting a buff to his base HP and AD stat gain per level, still soft but spicier. Caitlyn's base attack speed has been buffed and her Q's damage to second targets will increase, which would likely strengthen her laning phase. Corki's Q mana cost will reduce early game, his W now has a bonus AD ratio, and his E skill's mana cost will also be reduced late game. Yasuo is getting a buff, not a nerf. His critical damage on his Q has increased, and his ult's armor penetration rate based on crit chance gets buffed. And likewise, his brother is also getting a buff to his Q skill damage, which I don't kinda get, cause really? After bringing back lethal tempo, they thought this was necessary? Jin's growth AD has been reduced to 4.4, and his ult's base damage has also been reduced. Riot just loves linking up Jin with the number 4. Poppy's passive cooldown and her E skill's base damage will be nerfed, but her Q skill's damage on monsters will increase. AP Shyvana is getting nerfed. The AP ratio on her W's movement speed decreases by 2%, Dragon Form E skill's DPS gets nerfed, and her ult's AP ratio gets reduced by 50%. Tank champions have taken the spotlight. Skarner Jungle gets his passive's max HP damage reduced late game, and his E skill's max HP damage also gets nerfed. Udyr gets nerfed on his jungling capacity, his Q and ult's damage on monsters has reduced, and his E skill's movement speed will be nerfed as well. As for item changes, Collector got nerfed a little bit too much recently, now it's gonna be 450 gold cheaper, but the AD stats will reduce by 10. Yuntal is also getting cheaper, but its AD and hemorrhage effect are getting nerfed. Thornmail was offering a great deal, but now loses 5 armor and has its damage nerfed as well. Static Shift's AS will be reduced by 5%, Faded Ashes and Leandra's damage to monsters will be reduced. Luden receives a major nerf in its single target damage, and Storm Surge's AP and passive damage will be nerfed as well. Finally, for Rune Changes, Nimbus Cloak's movement speed gets a buff while Grasp's healing increases but gets reduced on max HP gain. Okay folks, that is all I got for you today. I'll see you guys in 2 weeks.